Hey everybody, welcome back. Yes, another debunking video today talking about the Masons of all things. And I've been doing a bunch of these recently because, quite frankly, I'm just rather frustrated with the stuff that I've been seeing on prepper channels and a lot of Christian channels especially. All the sky is falling videos and the doom and gloom and, you better be ready because of this and that and the end is nigh. There's a lot of that. And why is all this sensationalism happening? Well, because that's where the money is. If I did that here, instead of trying to do the opposite, I would probably get 20 times the views that I do. Take a look at the videos from the 24th and the hate that I got for that when Friedrich Merz said September 24th, so you better be ready because nothing happened. It was another average day all over the world. I mean, there was some storms or whatever, the usual things that would have happened anyway, but no earth-shattering event people would be talking about 500 years in the future. It didn't happen. The missing Russian submarine, I did a video on that. I'm sorry, what is a submarine for? It's supposed to go under the water and disappear. Of course they don't know where it is. I'm sure that certain people in the Navy Department are aware of probably where it is, but you get the point. That's what it's supposed to do. Disappear. The news isn't supposed to know where a submarine is after it submerges. Anyway, back to the point. I get frustrated with all of that, and today what I'm talking about is the Masons, because I hear a lot of that on certain prepper channels and a lot of Christian channels. Oh, the Masons they're plotting to take over the world, and they're directing the Illuminati, and they worship the devil. They go to the lodges and worship Satan and all of this other stuff, and they have these rituals, and that drives me nuts when I see that. And I'm like, do you know nothing about the Masons? And of course, no, they really kind of don't. They know what they've heard or what they want to believe, or they probably don't believe what they're talking about, but they expect that you're not going to do the research yourself. You can go to any Masonic Lodge page and look it up and see what they do. They really don't hide anything. How do I know? Because I used to be one. More than 10 years ago, when I was still living in Kansas, I was a member of the Topeka Lodge, Topeka 17, and I was in the Masons and the Scottish Rite, and that's just a little keepsake from the lodge. It's nothing special, but and I'm not in that anymore. But the thing that kills me about all of that is those lodges, they don't really do anything. I mean, they might do a handful of charity events, especially the Shriners, and I was not in the Shriners, but they're best known for doing the charities. But they do charity local events and things like that. And you go to the meeting, and yeah, the meeting has some silly ritual where you have to walk up and down this way, and there's a phrasing that you're supposed to say or a password or something. And it's no different than rituals that you might see anywhere else that you do in a daily basis. Look at Walmart. How many people have seen when they have their enthusiasm meetings in the middle of the day over in the electronics department, and everybody's got to stand there and clap their hands? That's a ritual. Are Walmart employees taking over the world? I seriously doubt it. Every organization, every place that you go has some kind of a ritualistic structure. Theirs is just, it looks weird because it's the same crap that they were doing 200 years ago in the lodges. Back when there probably were some secrets, and whatever those secrets were, there's nobody left to remember them. They're forgotten and lost. Somebody might make the argument, oh, well, this person's a Mason and that person's a Mason, and they work for this organization and they do this and that, and maybe. But are you going to hold all the thousands of Masons all over the world accountable for the actions of one or two? That's like going to New York, getting mugged by a guy who's Puerto Rican and deciding that all Puerto Ricans rob people. How are you going to hold the entire body of Masons, Scottish Rite, York Rite, Shriners, whatever, Eastern Star, which is the female division, because Eastern Star is all women, or you get the point. If there is an upper echelon of a handful of people, 3, 5, 7, 10, however many, that are secretly like Dr. Evil's lair. What's that got to do with the rest of them? The rest of them, it's just a social club. They go to the lodge, they do a little walk, and they have their lodge meeting. And the lodge meeting basically consists of talking about the minutes from the last meeting, talking about the budget, in which most of the lodges are broke, quite frankly, and barely able to keep the buildings open. I think if it wasn't for the fact that most of the buildings are so old, they're historical landmarks, they'd probably lose most of them, because their heyday is done. You remember the honeymooners, they were in a lodge, or on the Flintstones, they were in a lodge. What was it, the Grand Poobahs? They were making fun of the Masons because they were so popular after World War II. Everybody was in them. And you know, that's dwindled away, actually, since Vietnam. It's slowly dwindled away. And so after they talk about the fact that they need money and what the minutes were from the last meeting, and the fact that they need to do, in Topeka, one of the things that they used to do is they had I don't know if they still do it, because I'm not in touch with them anymore, have a fireworks stand. And that went to like building repair. We got to fix the roof's leaking, the plumbing is in disrepair, something. They always needed money. And trying to get, how can we attract new members? And then they rush people through the membership process. It's not like years like it was, say, 150 years ago. When I got my 3 degrees from the Masonic Lodge, we did that all in one night. And then the Scottish Rite was no better, because the Scottish Rite goes to 32 degrees, and they did that all in one night, or not till the afternoon, actually. Basically, I had to sit and watch a play for a couple hours, and then that was it. And boom, 32nd degree Scottish Rite, just like that. And this 33rd degree is an honorary thing that they give to like really old people when they get the red cap. Was it the red cap? I think it was the red cap. But you see the point. But they'll blow that up. And then also, 2 things that are really important to point out is for membership. When you first go to the Masons and you say, hey, I'm interested in being in the lodge, they make 2 things clear. One, that you need to believe in God. So there's your devil worshiping is right out the window. We never worshipped Satan in the lodge. That makes no freaking sense. There's Bibles in the lodge. You're expected to know something about them. You're expected to actually believe in God. And 2, keep your religious and political discussions out of the lodge. Don't do that stuff here. Don't talk politics, no campaigning. And if you have differences of opinions of religion, like one guy's Catholic and one guy's Protestant, we don't want to hear it, because it creates arguments. So, it like I said, it drives me nuts when you hear all of these people on these prepping channels and these Christian channels that are talking about how they're in the lodges drinking blood and plotting presidential assassinations or whatever the hell they're coming up with, because they didn't do anything. These guys couldn't even figure out half the so-called rituals. They couldn't even remember the right order anyways. They were arguing about it constantly because there's differences of opinion about how they should be done. Not that they even matter, because most of them don't take it seriously anyways. And then trying to decide, like, what they were most interested in was, okay, where are we going to go after lodge? Or, what restaurant are we going to go hang out at, or whatever, and, just talk, shoot the breeze. And they hardly couldn't agree on that. But they're taking the world over. And again, like I said, if there is an upper tier of a handful of people in the order that are really high ranking, and I don't know how high you would have to go, because I was actually pretty close with the Kansas Grandmaster and his attaché, because his second and myself got along really well, and we used to talk all the time. They're not doing anything. Not anything interesting. If the guy who's in charge of all the lodges from all the different divisions for Kansas isn't really doing anything sinister, probably none of the rest of them are either. Like I said, is it possible that there could be a handful of really high-ranking Masons somewhere who meet and plot? Sure, that's possible. But is it doing you any good to worry about it? Is it fair to think all of them are in on it if that's true? Is worrying about it helping you at all? Probably not. And that's really just the point that I'm trying to make. This is another one of those silly things that they got people biting their nails over, and it's not necessary. You just do you, live your life. Please do prep, because I'm always on that. You be prepared. You do your best. You stock your pantry. You protect yourself and your family. You know, do your best. But don't be afraid of everything that's coming around the corner. Don't try to anticipate in that regard, because you're just wearing yourself out. That stress, it's aging you needlessly. It's giving you worry lines. Thoughts? Anybody out there a Mason? You want to chime in on that? Don't be afraid. It's the comment section. But yeah, please do comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about all of that. I'm sure there's going to be some people that are going to get really angry and tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, and oh, I got this, because I've talked about this on my other channel, Coffee Talk. I have another YouTube channel, Coffee Talk. If you wanted to go and check it out, I would appreciate it, where I do a little bit more news and philosophical discussion, if you will. I've brought it up before, and people are like, you just weren't important enough for them to bring in. Well, you see Daniel right there, sitting in the chair. That's one of the strays that I'm taking care of. Okay, fine. Maybe I'm just not important enough, but neither are pretty much the majority of everyone else that's involved in these Masonic groups or were involved in them. Again, thoughts, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. Please do give the video a thumbs up. Easiest way to show your appreciation. Rumor has it that the thumbs up help with the algorithm. I don't believe that for a minute, but I appreciate it. Share it if you can. Probably the only way it'll get seen. ScrewTube hates this channel. Subscribe if you're new. If you're new to the channel and you're like, what's the deal with the random cat images? There's strays that my wife and I take care of, and images of them actually do help with the loading algorithm. If you wanted to help the channel out, or the cats for that matter, there are links for that down below. Every little bit helps, and we sure do appreciate it. And if that's it, then what more can I say but stay frosty, folks, and thanks for watching.